Welcome to an Inside the Red Raiders special report. I'm Jarret Johnson, and I'm very happy to welcome the mighty Joe Yeager back to this space, these videos, this type of content. It's been a long time, mighty Joe, since we got together and done these. I think we did one video like in the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
but as I said on the board on Inside the Red Raiders, we're getting the band back together. I think this is going to be a more regular occurrence of us doing these videos, this type of content together, podcasts, all that stuff as, of course, another school year approaches, football season and all that. So, mighty Joe, just real quick, how you doing? Tell everybody how you doing.
I'm doing all right, man. Actually, Jarret and his son and I went out to the sprint car races out here in Lubbock last night. And I was up there. Jarret and the youngin cut out a little bit early, but I was there till 11:45 in the evening watching the main event. And I was so fired up by that race that it took a while for me to get to sleep. Afterwards, it probably about 1:15 by the time I hit the sack, which for me is very, very late. So I'm kind of wiped out right now, but other than that, all is good.
Sounds like excuses to me. Mighty Joe's letting you know.
That's right. Don't expect too much from me, but I'll do my best.
That's what he's trying to tell you. I know Mighty Joe, that's what he's trying to say. But no, we expect a lot. We expect something mighty from Mighty Joe. And, look, what everyone wants to talk about, and understandably so, is all the possible realignment talk. With the report that OU and UT is looking to leave the Big 12, join the SEC. I mean, the longer this goes, at this point, it seems like an inevitability, that they're gone. And first off, I just want to say, I'm surprised on one hand in terms of the immediacy of this. We all knew that 2025 was going to be a big year in terms of TV contracts for the Big 12 and everything. So I thought it would be closer to that date. And I thought I could see UT going to the SEC, of course. But I thought OU was always destined for the Big 10. But now, it looks like they're a package deal. They're, bosom buddies, OU and UT. It's amazing how fiscal opportunity, monetary opportunity can unite even the most bitter of enemies, So, exactly. and I'm not one of those people that are judging, saying, "Oh, they're so greedy." I mean, come on, this is America. I've always had in my opinion, a real view of the big business that is college football. I never had any illusion that it wasn't big business, at least in my lifetime or since I've been an adult. So I'm not shocked by this, and I don't judge. I'm like, oh, they're just greedy, looking out for themselves. Because I think Tech would do the same. Yeah. If given the same opportunity. You actually wrote a really cool article, outlining, saying that very thing is that, look, this is the reality of college sports today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. To be perfectly honest, I'm not wild about it, but by the same token, like you, I'm not saying that any one university is morally superior or inferior to the other, because ultimately that's what it's all coming down to for everybody. Yeah. It's just the money. And that's what's going on right now. That's what's driving it right now, and that's what's going to drive it in the future, and that's what's going to determine wherever it is the Texas Tech ultimately winds up.
I couldn't agree more, Mighty Joe. And just real quick, so for right now, really the Big 12 is still situated in terms of its contract, and I don't know all the language. I'm not a lawyer. I haven't gone through it, and even if I did, would I even understand the Latin? You might, all the degrees you have. That's gonna be in
too much math for my head.
Math and Latin, so I'm out. I need help. I need to outsource this, but no. There's so much that goes into these type of contracts. It's big business, but right now, Tech and the Big 12 is situated still for at least a couple of years, without knowing all the language and everything. If OU and UT leaves, to still receive good money through their TV contracts, very competitive. Even with the Big Ten and the SEC in terms of net, because there's only 10 schools, and if there's only 8 schools, if that's even possible, then I don't even know how the math works out there. So, and then what kind of penalty will OU and UT have to pay? I've heard something like $70 million each or something like that. That's big money. You think about what Tech could do with their slice of the pie there, of that kind of money, it could really help. So, and set them up for the future. So I don't know the viability of, I think some people have called it a Frankenstein Big 12. the leftovers, Big 12, all that. Would you add 2 schools? Would you stay at 8? Could you stay at 8? What 2 schools would you add? And would 2 schools join the sinking ship that is the Big 12? And then you have, of course, the Athletic reported on Thursday, Mighty Joe, that the Big 12 has proposed, the leftovers have proposed that a merger, a super conference with the Pac-12, a 20-team super conference with the Pac-12, and that would be preferable than just kind of patching together what's left of the Big 12, which I think we all agree, right? I mean, like that would be the security that the Pac-12 could offer Texas Tech, in theory at least. That's all preferable. And then, but how does that happen? The Pac-12 has mentioned that at least their commissioner that they're not initially interested in forming a super conference, and of course acted all elitist as you would expect a Pac-12 commissioner to act. But then again, I started thinking about it, Mighty Joe, and Texas Tech, even TCU and Baylor, to a degree, could offer the DFW TV market to the Pac-12. And I think that's valuable because that super conference would own the LA TV market, a Phoenix TV market, and the and not own, but have at least a slice of the DFW market to offer in terms of when I think the Pac-12's TV contract comes up in 2024. So that kind of aligns, and that gives both parties enough time to make this happen. So I guess my thought to you is, what do you think about all that, and what do you think is the most likely outcome? Not holding your feet to the fire, because
it does seem like that's a viable thing. Now, one thing that I certainly am convinced of is that you use the term sinking ship for the Big 12, and that's the case. I mean, look, it's being predated upon, and SEC has come in and nipped these guys out. Look, it's been hemorrhaging teams off and on, basically since the conference began for the most part. Yeah. So it's never the conference that is the aggressor. It's always on the defensive. Mm-hmm. So that's a bad sign. If I was playing Risk, I would not want to put all my armies in the Big 12 right now.
Feel like you're South America just getting bombarded, right?
Right. So, I think we can cross that off as far as the Big 12 as a standalone conference for the long term. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, for the remainder of the television contract, possibly. But it does seem like, there is some logic with a sort of a Big 12, Pac-12 fusion conference of some sort coming together. It could happen, and I'm not exactly sure what all the rhetoric is coming out of the Pac-12 right now. I'm sure they're saying all the high-minded crap that I hate the most.
Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening.
But bottom of the line is, they're as hungry for the bucks as everybody else.
That's it. If you can offer that, so the TV markets and make the offer or the negotiation with TV networks more valuable, more lucrative for the Pac-12, then they're going to be in.
Sure.
And I certainly think if there's a merger of the Big 12 and the Pac-12, I think Texas Tech's going to be a part of that.
Yeah, certainly, absolutely. From the DFW standpoint, and Texas Tech is now a large university.
Yeah.
It's never been tiny, but now we're talking like around 40,000 students, huge alumni base in DFW. A name brand of sorts, not exactly what you call a helmet school,
right?
But not obscure either. And then just to the extent that geography matters at all, look, West Texas is more of the Southwest, culturally in a lot of ways than it is the South. And certainly the Midwest.
Yes.
So, it just kind of is a natural pairing with those Arizona schools and Colorado.
Like Utah, all that. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, it does. That could make for some sweet road trips, that's for sure. It could happen, I think. I really do.
Yeah, and it's exciting to think about. And I know a lot of people are scared, but I'm actually excited about the possibility of that happening at some point. So... and kind of changing because the Big 12 has been such a sinking ship for so long, and just the some of the things that goes along with. And I understand that UT and OU helps you in a lot of ways, but and especially UT, some of the I want to say this the right way. Just some of the silliness is the best way I can say that goes along with UT. Like I'm not gonna miss them as long as Tech falls and not falls, but finds a good landing spot. then hey, I think this will be a good thing overall. I think people, instead of looking at this as, oh no, as should look at it as a potential really nice opportunity for Texas Tech to get out from UT. But I'm ever the optimist, sometimes annoyingly so. So I can see how some people might be rolling their eyes, but we'll just have to see how it all plays out. There's so many layers to this, Mighty Joe. We'll be talking about this a ton for the foreseeable future. Yeah, right. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But with that, Mighty Joe, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching, and until next time.